Hi there, my name's Vince from mymatevince.com, and in this video today I'm going to show you how you can connect various different headphones and headsets to the PlayStation 4 Slim. So with the PlayStation 4 Slim, it's a little bit harder to work with than the PlayStation 4 and the 4 Pro because it hasn't got an optical output at the back. So I'm going to show you the different options in this video here, whether that be Bluetooth, wired, optical connection. I've also got a HDMI extractor there that I'll show you at the end. So I'm going to break it down into different parts and then you can just go to the part that you're interested in. So let's get started. The easiest way to get headphones or a headset connected to the PlayStation 4 is just to use the 3.5mm headphone jack on the DualShock 4 controller. Good thing about this is it allows the audio through it, and as well as that it allows the chat through it as well. So if you're plugging in a headset with a microphone, then you can chat to your friends through here. You can have the game audio coming through the TV and then just your chat, so the microphone that you're using and also your friends chat through here, or you can have all audio through here. So for example, if you wanted to plug in headphones late at night so you didn't disturb the rest of the house, you would want to put all audio through here. So let me just show you how you do that. So to begin with, I'm just going to connect up a wired headset. The good thing about a wired headset is that there's no batteries to recharge, and also they tend to be cheaper than the wireless versions as well, and sound quality's very good on them. So right now what's happening is I've still got my sound coming through the TV over there, but yet my microphone is working. So if I was to say PlayStation, all commands, start settings, home screen, you can see there that the microphone's working fine, but I haven't got any sound coming through here. It would just be the chat audio coming through here, so you'd be able to hear your friends, but that's it. So to change that, it's nice and simple. All we have to do is hold down the PlayStation button for a couple of seconds and then go to where it says sound and devices up on the top left there. And we need to go down to where it says output to headphones, and at the moment it just says chat audio. Well, we want to change that to all audio, so we're going to hit the X and then we're going to move it up to all audio. And now if you listen, you can't hear anything coming through the TV anymore, but yet if I hold up the headphones to here, you should hear. So now the game audio and the chat and everything is coming through here, so you're not disturbing anybody else in the house. Now if you want to change the volume, because a lot of people say, well, it's too quiet when I plug my headset in, that's nice and simple. Just go down to where it says volume control and then you press X and then you can move the volume there. So what I tend to do is I will have that up full, and then because most headsets have an inline volume controller here, I will move the volume controller to make it comfortable for what I'm listening to. Also, you've got your mic mute button in line as well, so if you were to slide it to mute, then nobody can hear the conversations that you're having in your own house. So that's the wired one. Now you don't have to get official PlayStation devices to use wired. So for example, it does come with a little mono headset. The only problem with the mono headset that comes with it, although the mic works fine, the sound's absolutely rubbish because it's all coming through this tiny little earbud here. But you can use other headphones as well. So this one here is just purely headphones. So there's no microphone on this, and this will also work when you plug it in. Or if your phone came with headphones, they often have a mic built into them. And then you can just use these ones. So you plug them into here, and then you can just use the microphone on this one here. PlayStation. And you can see it's come up on screen again down the bottom there. Start settings. Yeah, you get the idea. So that's the wired controller. For me personally, I like the wired option because you don't have to charge up the batteries in the headphones or the headsets. You're not worried about any kind of wireless interference that's going to affect the signal. It just works well. Some people don't like it because they don't like a wire coming out of their controller, but to me it doesn't really bother me because it's quite light. But let me show you some other options. Next we're going to be looking at sound cards, USB sound cards. So you can get these very cheaply. This one here was less than £2, but the build quality is not very good and the sound's not brilliant on this one. If you spend a bit more money, then you will get a better quality one, but even the cheap ones do work. Now, really simple. Basically, the PlayStation 4 allows you to connect up things via the USB, and it allows you to connect up headphones and headsets. And all it is plug and play. So all we need to do is go to one of the USB ports, and plug it in, and then it's up to you. If we're just going to be connecting up headphones into it, all we have to do is use the headphone jack here. If you just want a microphone into it, you can just use the microphone jack. Again, I want to use my wired headset. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this thing here, which is a 3.5mm female to two 3.5mm males. One will be for the headphones and one will be for the microphone. So nice and simple, I'm connecting green to the headphones, I'm connecting the pink to this yellow one here, which is microphone. And now, when I plug this in here, the sound should be coming through the headset again. So if I move along there now, you can hear the sound coming through here. And also the microphone will work. PlayStation, all commands. Yeah, and you can see there. Now, another way to check your microphone, and this is good practice to do this because you won't annoy other people in the online game that you're playing, to go down and test the microphone sound. So what we need to do is just hold down the PlayStation button and then go to where it says adjust microphone level and then press X, and now it has the input volume here and microphone level. So if you have a look, basically you want to be in this section here which says good. So put your headset on nice and comfortably and just start speaking, and as you can see now I'm happy with that because it's coming up as good. If you're not happy with it and it's too low, you will need to move the slider across here, and now you can see for me it's too high, but for you it might be perfect. If, for example, it's too high, you move it lower, and then whatever you want to do, you want to end up in that good section here, between here, and then you know it's not going to be too loud or too quiet for your friends to hear you. So for me now, around about that level there seems just fine. Obviously, depending on where you move this closer or further away from your mouth will also make a difference. So put it to where you're comfortable with and where you think you're going to use it most of the time. Then do your test here, and then you can work out the perfect level. Now I'm going to show you another thing that this sound card's useful for. So we've got the USB sound card plugged into the PlayStation 4 just like before, but this time we've got our 3.5mm plug from the speakers just plugged into the headphone jack here, and then all the audio now will come through these speakers here. So if you have a listen, that is now coming through the speakers. If I was to turn that off, you can see it's now not working. Turn it back on and it starts working again. So it's an easy way of getting sound out of your PlayStation 4. So it's well worth having a USB sound card. Even if you're not using it all the time, it does give you different options. Next we're going to be connecting up this optical headset here. So this will allow audio through here, and also it's got a microphone as well, so it allows chat. Now with this here, normally you would need an optical in, so you would need like a Toslink lead, a digital audio lead. You know, the ones with the little red lights that shine when you move them around the place, also known as SPDIF. And then you would plug that into there, you would give this power, and then this communicates with this via a 2.4 gigahertz wireless technology, and then it will work fine. The problem is, we haven't got an optical connection on the PlayStation 4 Slim. You have on a PlayStation 4 and the Pro, but not the Slim. But Sony have made this so easy to use. Believe it or not, you don't need an optical connection. All you have to do is connect it in via USB, and then it will recognise it as a USB headset. So this is so simple to use. I'm going to plug it in here. And now, it's come up there with headset already. And now it says microphone switch to USB headset. So it's already recognised it as a USB headset. But we now need to pair this up with that one down there. So it's just a case of turning it on. And now you can see that's gone to a solid blue light, and that is as simple as that. That will now work for all the game audio and the microphone as well. So if we have a listen, you can hear now it's coming through the speakers here. And also our microphone will be working. PlayStation, all commands. Start settings, home screen. So you can see how easy that is to set up. So if you were to plug that into your Xbox, for example, without the optical cable, it's not going to work. But with PlayStation, it recognises it as a USB headset, and it works without the optical connection. So again, headphones like this work really well, and it's great that the microphone and everything works through that USB. So that's the optical one. Okay, now believe it or not, we can actually use our mobile phone or this Apple iPod as a microphone. So we can still do our chat audio on the PlayStation 4 by just using your mobile phone. So let me show you how that's going to work. Nice and simple. First of all, you have to download one of the free wireless microphone apps. There's loads to choose from. This one here I've just chosen is called Mic to Speaker. I'm not saying to choose this one. I haven't done a lot of research into this. I've only done this for the video. And I've also got another one here which is just called Microphone. And it looks like that one there. Okay, they both work, but for me, the only way I can get them to work is via the headphone jack on here. Some people can connect it up via USB and it works. For me, it doesn't. I can only get it to work if I plug it into the headphone jack of the controller, or again, if I use the sound card on here and take the microphone out of there. So let me just show you two different ways, because it's important, because you need special leads depending on which one you use. Now, if we're plugging it in to the headphone jack of the controller, we have to have a lead that's got a 4-pole connector on it. So you can see the one at the bottom here is just a normal stereo lead because it's just 3-pole, 1, 2, 3. This one here has 4 sections, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's because it includes a section for the microphone. So what we have to do is, so this particular lead now is a 4-pole to a 3-pole, and it's 3.5mm male to 3.5mm male. But this is the important part, 4-pole to 3-pole. If I was just to use a normal stereo lead, which is 3-pole to 3-pole, it doesn't work. So what we have to do is, we also have to get it the right way round. We have to put the 4-pole in to the DualShock 4 controller, yeah? And now we're going to use the 3-pole part of it into the phone. So now on the headphone jack, it's up here on this particular phone. Now obviously you can get a longer lead to do this, because that's not going to be long enough. This is just purely for testing. But now what will happen is, if I just do tap to start mic, it's now going to start using it as a microphone. And the good thing is, even when the screen goes blank, it still works. So it's not going to waste your battery too much. And as well as that, you can charge it while using it as well. What I would suggest, if you wanted to go down this route, I mean, I would suggest just getting a proper headset. But if you're a bit short on money and you wanted to go down this route, you can use an old phone to do this, because there's so many apps out there. You don't need the latest phone. And the microphone, even on old phones, is still going to be absolutely perfect, because it's been designed as a phone. It's been designed as a microphone. So let me just show you this working now. So basically, right now you can see that it's taking the audio and everything away from it, which is no good, because we only want to use the phone as a microphone, because we can't hear anything through it. So what I'm going to have to do is go to devices, and I'm going to go to audio devices. I'm going to put output device to TV or amplifier. Input means the microphone and output means the speakers. So now the sounds are coming back through to the TV, yet my microphone will be working on the phone. And the good thing is, you don't need this right next to you. Right, so if you watch this now, you can see that it's quite a distance away from me, but yet it will still pick up my voice. It's really good. PlayStation. All commands. Start settings. Home screen. Now, because it is quite sensitive, what you might have to do is you might have to actually lower this one down. So if, again, we go to the PlayStation button and we go down to adjust microphone level, if you have a look, you can see how high it is. So let me lower that right down. There we go. Now you can see that looks perfect. So let me get out of that and just make sure it's still working. PlayStation. All commands. Start settings. Home screen. And you can see how well that works. So believe it or not, that works pretty good. And it's not just the Android phone either. This is an Android phone. It will also work on iPods as well. So this one here has a little jack at the bottom, and again it will be the same thing. So let me stop that one now. And now if I start this one, you can see that it's on. So if I was to say PlayStation, all commands, Street Fighter 5. Drive Club. Yeah, and you can see it moving around the place. So again, it works really good. So it's a handy feature to have. You know, if you want to save a little bit of money and you just want to test out the online chat, or you're saving up to get your favourite headset, then you probably already have a phone or an old phone lying about the place. Give it a go, see what you think. So as you can see, it works pretty well in that setup. But now let's say if we don't want to be tethered to the controller, all we've got to do is use our USB sound card again. So I've unplugged it from the controller now. I'm going to plug in my USB sound card, but this time I don't need my special lead. I can just use a standard 3.5mm to 3.5mm stereo cable. Now all I've got to do is plug it into the microphone part of the USB sound card. So you can tell the difference because you see one shaped like a headphone, and this will be the same on most sound cards. One shaped like a headphone here on the right hand side, and this one shaped like a microphone. You will also get some sound cards that just have the one hole. That's because they're going to operate similar to this here. It's going to be a 4-pole connector, but you will find that especially with a lot of the cheaper ones, you have got 2 holes to choose from. So all I'm going to do is plug it into the microphone part there, and now I'm going to use the other end there to plug into the Apple iPod. This will also work on the Android phone as well. And now this will work as a microphone. PlayStation. All commands. Start settings. Home screen. Again, you can see it's working fine there. But right now, again, the sound's being pushed through to the sound card here and not to here. So again, you would need to go into devices and you would need to change the output to TV, and then you will have the sound coming through the TV, and then you can have your phone here connected up as so. Also, another option is just to plug in normal headphones into here. If you've got some headphones that came with, for example, your iPod, then what you can just do is you can just plug them into here, and then you're going to have the audio coming through here. You're probably not going to be able to hear this, but let me just try. So that's how to connect the phone up as a microphone. So as you can see, the phones do work pretty well as a microphone. The thing I like about it is that it doesn't have to be close to you. You can be quite far away. But I could imagine now if you were living in, for example, a family home, I could imagine that this option here would annoy other gamers because it's going to pick up all the background noise. Kind of like when you use your Kinect on your Xbox One. It picks up somebody doing a hoovering. It picks up somebody doing the dishes or children chatting in the background. So I could imagine that it would be quite irritating for other people. But I haven't actually played this online. I've just set it up just purely for the video. So if you use this technique and you think it's good, let people know in the comments. If it's no good for the reasons that I said or for other reasons, again, write it down in the comments, and then it will educate those other people watching this video as to whether or not it works well or not. Right, let's get on to the next one. Bluetooth devices. So what we have here is a little PlayStation 3 headset, and this works via Bluetooth to the PlayStation 3, and it works fine. Obviously the sound and stuff's not great, but still it connects up and it works as it's supposed to work. Now unfortunately this will not work on the PlayStation 4, and you will find that near enough most of your Bluetooth devices will not work on the PlayStation 4 because it says they're not supported. So we're in pairing mode now because it's going blue and green, and now in about a minute or so it will come up there. And there you can see it's actually come up with PS3 EX01, and that's exactly what this model number is. It's an EX01 made by Geotech. So now if I go down to click on that, it should pair, but it's been blocked. So if I go to there and press X, it will say please wait. So as you can see, it says there, Bluetooth audio devices are not supported by the PS4. Sometimes it will go one step further and it will allow you to click on the device, and then it will say, do you want to register this? And then when you go through to yes, then it will come up with Bluetooth audio devices are not supported by the PS4. So as you can see, natively you can't just use your PlayStation 3 devices on your PlayStation 4. But there is a kind of workaround that we can get some things to work, but it's only going to work as headphones, not as chat. So for example, if you've got your favourite Bluetooth headphones here, we have got a way of getting them to work, but these have a little microphone built into them, but this is not going to work for chat. But there is a workaround that we can do using the HDMI extractor that I will show you later in the video. So what we need is a Bluetooth wireless transmitter, and you can get these from Amazon for around about £18. Make sure you get a transmitter and not a receiver. And then what we're going to do is we're going to plug this in somewhere to get it to send sound to the Bluetooth speakers. So first things first, we have to pair these two together. So I'm just going to hold that one down. Okay, so now that is in pairing mode, it's going blue and red, and now I need to hold this one down until this goes into pairing mode. So that's turned on now. Now when it goes to blue and red, it's in pairing mode. Right, I'm going to fast forward through this because it can take a while to sync up. Right, okay, they're now paired up with each other, so they're in sync with each other. So it doesn't matter that the PlayStation 4 doesn't support Bluetooth, because we're going to just be using a normal audio jack, and whatever comes into here will be transmitted via Bluetooth over to the headphones. So now, how are we going to do this? Well, there's different ways of doing it. An easy way is just to plug it into your TV, because we do have a headphone jack here on the TV. And then what will happen is all the game audio that comes through the TV will be not coming through the TV, it'll be going through the Bluetooth wireless transmitter and then going over to our Bluetooth headphones. So let's do that option first. Okay, so I've plugged my Bluetooth wireless transmitter into the headphone jack of the TV, and now the sound won't be coming through the TV anymore, it's going to be coming through here. So if you have a listen, hopefully you can just barely hear that, but it's not loud by any means. Okay, so that's plugging it into the TV, and obviously now we can still do the option of plugging in the USB sound card and having the microphone or phone into here. Or we've got another option, because we're using the TV, we can now use the lead that we got free with the PlayStation. And when we plug that in there, again, it's going to put all the sound through this little speaker and the microphone here. But we just need to go down to devices and make sure the output is going to the TV still. So here we go, output device, change that to TV. And now what's going to happen is, remember, it's not coming through the TV because it's being routed via that Bluetooth transmitter to here. But yet now we're still going to have this microphone working here. So if I was to go to PlayStation, you can see it's come up down the bottom again. So that's a roundabout way that you can get your Bluetooth headphones to work on your PlayStation 4. It's not ideal, but it does actually work. Well, now you might be thinking, well, why don't I just plug that wireless Bluetooth transmitter into the USB sound card? Unfortunately, although it works, it won't then allow you to put the chat through here. So for example, if I plug this into here and then plug this into here, right now it's going to have put everything through the USB sound card. And now if I go to devices again, it won't let me single out the controller headset and the USB headset. So for example, I want the input device to be headset connected to controller because I want that for the microphone, but then it changes the output device to headset as well. If I try to change that back to USB, it changes both of them, so I can't choose one or the other. You can either have the headset working and the TV working, or headset and headset, or USB and TV working, or just USB and USB. You can't have USB and headset. So that's the reason why I can't use the sound card with the Bluetooth wireless transmitter into there. Now what happens, for example, if your TV or your monitor hasn't got a headphone jack? Well, there is something else that you can get that will allow you to extract the sound out. So let me show you that now. This here is called a HDMI audio converter, or most people know it as a HDMI audio extractor. And what it does is you plug your HDMI lead into the input here, so this will be from the PlayStation into here, and then you will do this one to your monitor or TV. And what it does is it then extracts the sound out of it. So you're still going to get the sound through the HDMI, so your TV's still going to have the sound, but you have the option then to take out the SPDIF, so you know the Toslink lead, the digital audio lead that I talked about earlier with the red light. And also you've got right and left stereo audio as well. So what you can do is you can just get your RCA phono connectors here, or you can just convert this to a 3.5mm jack by using something cheap and cheerful like this. So this little lead here costs roughly about £1 or £2. They're not expensive at all. And then you would plug that into there like so, and then that then allows you to plug in anything with a 3.5mm jack into there. For example, we can plug in the Bluetooth transmitter. So if I plug that into there like so, now what will happen is I need to give this power. So you can take this from the PlayStation if you want, or you can just use any USB charger, because this isn't getting any audio through the USB plug. You only need a USB plug purely to give this unit power. So let me set that up and then show you this working. So basically I've got my PlayStation 4 Slim, I've got the HDMI coming out of it. It goes into the HDMI audio converter or extractor, and from there I've got the other HDMI lead coming out, going into the TV. Then it's extracted the sound out to here, and I'm using the wireless transmitter just plugged in here, and it's getting its power just from a normal USB charger here. So that's the setup there. Now remember, this can be all tucked away behind your TV, and what this will allow is, it will allow much more volume because it's taking it straight out of the HDMI cable. So now have a listen, you can hear this from a distance. Right, so at the moment it's coming through here, and it's also coming through the TV. It's bringing the sound out through both. So if it was late at night and you didn't want to disturb people, you would simply put the TV on mute, and then the only sound will be coming through the Bluetooth headphones. Hopefully you can hear that. And you can control the volume from here, on the headset here. Okay, and now what we can still do is we can still have our microphone working here, because remember, we are allowed to have the input as the headphones and then the output as the TV. And the output is still the TV, it's just that I've got it going through the extractor to bring sound out to here. So now I just want to go to my settings again, devices, and I want to put audio devices. So I want to put input device, headset, and output device, TV. And now what's going to happen is my microphone is going to be working here, and yet I can use my Bluetooth headphones again. PlayStation. All commands. Start settings. Home screen. Home screen. There you go, you can see that it works again. And I'm just going to show you one last thing to do with a soundbar. So it's the same setup again, but this time we're using the optical out. So basically this black lead here, the optical cable, goes into this soundbar here, and I've got it on the mode to allow the optical input. There's nothing else connected. So this would be the same now if you had something which was only optical and you were using it on the PlayStation 4 Slim. Obviously this is irrelevant for PlayStation 4 and Pro because you'll be using the optical port on the back of the actual console. This is just for the Slim. But if you have a listen now, it's nice and loud, it's coming through the soundbar and also the TV. So if I mute the soundbar, you can hear it coming through the TV. And then if I mute the TV, you will hear it comes out of nowhere, and then unmute the soundbar and it's coming through the soundbar. And obviously because it's a soundbar, you can have it really, really loud. Right, so there are all the different ways that you can connect up different things, whether that be speakers, soundbars, headphones, headsets, Bluetooth, all the different options to do different things on the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 4 Slim and PlayStation 4 Pro. Also things like that HDMI extractor and stuff, that will basically work on any HDMI equipment. It doesn't have to be a PlayStation. So if you're ever wondering, well, how do I connect up my soundbar to something that's only got an output as a HDMI? Well, that's how you do it. You get yourself one of those extractors. They cost between £15 and £20 on Amazon for the cheap ones. Obviously you can get much better quality ones that get a lot more expensive. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and please subscribe for more how-to videos. Take care, bye now.